I the a-hole for calling mother-in-law by her last name instead of grandma?
Call you what I want.
This is all to answer the question of when is it worth it to stand up for yourself?
Every time.
Every time. Stand by yourself because no one else will.
Sophia, are you okay?
No one stands with me.
I got your back.
Thank you, John. So Babe Miller says, my relationship with my mother-in-law, Mrs. Smith, is crap. She's cold to me because I kept my last name Miller. She says I'll treat her like family when she wants to be part of it. She calls me Jake's friend. Oh. Yikes.
Ouch.
Oof.
My husband Jake loves me all the same. He doesn't bother standing up to her because it's a way for her to start a fight. We rarely talk to her. She makes no effort, neither do we. Jake and I discussed whose last name our kids would have prior to the birth. He initiated the conversation, but I left the decision up to him. After the birth, the families visited at the hospital. Jake asked what our son's last name was going to be, and I told him it was still his choice. He smiled and said, "Little baby Miller, I like it." He filled out the paperwork, and mother-in-law looked livid.
Wait, is the baby's...
Miller is OP's last name. And so they're deciding what the last name of the child should be.
Right, and her husband is saying he should have your last name.
Exactly.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yes.
That's cute.
Very cute. But the mother-in-law, I don't think she's going to be too happy about what.
Oh, God.
About naming the baby after Jake's friend.
God.
She started asking questions, but my dad started crying. Oh. Both of my brothers have died. Dad has never mentioned it, but I know passing the last name down makes him happy.
Oh.
Neither Jake or I anticipated this, nor did it for this reason, but it was sweet all the same. After she left, mother-in-law let people know what I had done and how now she wouldn't feel like a grandmother. A month later, a sister-in-law announced her pregnancy. Mother-in-law said, "Finally, I'll feel like a grandmother."
Oh.
Sweet. So,
hey, Grandma, put your dukes up. Okay.
So your maternal grandparents aren't your grandchildren.
This is going too far. We need to 3 p.m. PSD next Tuesday. Yeah. John Fry gets in the ring with terrible, annoying mother-in-law. In
the backyard, we're gonna set up a whole ring.
Knockout of the century. I hate her.
Hit a woman? Oh my gosh.
I don't even care. I don't even care.
She's a monster.
In a regulated boxing ring, okay?
Yeah, in a
only if she agrees, because if she's like I'm fighting to defend how terrible I am, I'm like, bring it on, Grandma.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Agreed. Knock her out. KO. Our son started talking during a video call where my mother-in-law did nothing but gush about sister-in-law's daughter, who's adorable. Jake was trying to get the baby to talk. Son lost interest. I took son, and Jake let mother-in-law ramble some more before ending the call. Mother-in-law said she wanted to say bye to son. Jake turned the phone. Mother-in-law said, "Say bye to Grandma." Make son say it. I'm Grandma now.
Jesus Christ. Who is this lady?
Oh my God. I snapped inside, so I said, "Say bye, Mrs. Smith." Damn.
Yo, that was cold.
Damn.
That was ice cold.
Ice cold. My mother-in-law's face dropped. Jake turned the camera away and said bye quickly. He laughed, said I was awesome, but we better put our phones on silent. The only call/text I responded to was the other sister-in-law who said I didn't need to go out of my way to be nasty. That mother-in-law went around saying how excited she was about son, lie. That her initial comments were understandable because I talked Jake out of tradition. I did not. And that I'd hurt mother-in-law. Mother-in-law needed time to adjust. I said, "Thank you for your input." Mother-in-law texted eventually saying I'd really upset her. I said, here I was trying to respect the importance you feel to last names. You said multiple times I'm not family because of my last name. Oh, I don't think I really gathered that.
Yeah,
that
she was
tidbit.
like flipping it back on her.
No, I got that. I was just saying that I didn't understand why the grandma was so adamant, like, oh, this is Jake's friend, not, his partner or his wife. I think it's because she kept her last name, and so the grandma was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get that part. You made it more than clear that's the reason my child doesn't make you feel like a grandma. Now you'll be known as Mrs. Smith. She said sorry, she didn't mean it that way, but that my dad's reaction was an example of how important last names are.
Dang.
I now had to forgive her because family. It made me angrier that she brought my dad into this, and I can't tell if I'm being the a-hole or not. And there is a small edit. There's 2 edits, actually. Edit 1, thank you again to everyone who gave awards. Jake is home, and I had him read the post. Some of you really cracked him up. Some made good points, which we have discussed. Apparently, he also got a text from his sister and asked how much money she got from mother-in-law for telling me off. He also made sure to tell sister-in-law who had the baby that we hold nothing against her, should mother-in-law try to spin it that way. She knows mother-in-law better, thankfully. Jake would also like to tell those who are telling me I should take his name that he disagrees, and he's not about the sexism you're spewing. Jake sounds great. Jake
is great.
From day one has been like, Mom, get out of here. I'm not putting up with it, man.
I'm not here with it.
This is my child, and I'm naming her after my wife's last name, and deal with it.
She wants to keep her last name. Boom. I get to decide. My wife lets me name our baby. Giving it her name to honor her
Dad.
Go. Sound off.
Put some Jakes in the chat.
W Jake.
Though he does now want to send mother-in-law a Christmas card from the Millers.
Hilarious.
Oh my God. It would be so good if he then changed his name. I think that's the only thing that could make Jake even more of a W.
Dude.
A king, if
Just
you
for
will.
the meme.
Just for the meme, change your last name.
We're the Millers?
Yeah.
Dude.
We're the
Come on.
Millers. Perfect.
Amazing.
Edit 2, you guys are being great. I woke up to many more responses than I anticipated. Just to clarify, my son will not be calling mother-in-law Mrs. Smith. They barely have a relationship as he's still a baby, and mother-in-law makes no effort. After some discussion, Jake is going to take some time to figure out what he wants from mother-in-law and if he thinks that's possible. And there are some relevant comments and an update.
Oh.
But what are your thoughts here?
Yeah. So what should they do?
Yeah.
I think they need to have a sit down with the mother-in-law and be like, here's where you disrespect. I know it's kind of been touched upon, but here's where you really disrespected me and us, because ultimately it was the son's decision to OP.
OP literally said, this is on you.
Gave Jake the power, hey, whatever you want to do, I'm on board with, you pick.
Yeah.
And he was the one that picked OP's last name for the baby. So I think they've disrespected both of them, but mostly OP. Calling her Jake's friend, insanity.
They're
much married.
Disrespect. Yeah.
They've chosen each other as life partners.
Over literally just her keeping her last name.
So I think you lay it out and be like, your consistent
disrespect has gone too far.
We can be cordial, but if you want to have a real actual relationship beyond just being cordial at family functions or whatever, we need to see you put in the effort to show with your actions that you're sorry, not just
and
hear
to recognize their marriage, to recognize them as a family unit, and not just the friend.
Totally. I want to see her at if she now is lending a helping hand, obviously stopping this Jake's friend BS and all this. If she consistently put in the work, then it's okay, you know what, she's come around, and obviously you want to have great grandmother for your baby and all that stuff. Have a good relationship with your partner's mom. If she does all the actions to prove she's turned around, okay.
Yes.
But I need to see it.
Agreed. But let's get into these relevant comments and see what they're thinking.
Let's get after it.
Deleted says,
ooh,
Oh man, I really love when this thing hovers my head like this. It feels so good.
What's on our heads, Sam?
Oh, that's the new OK Storytime hat merch, only available in maroon.
That's right. And guys, not only is it going out of sale July 31st.
Yeah, that's the last time that you could buy.
They're already dwindling. They're flying off the shelves.
We're only offering 33 hats, so get yours right now. Support the show and spread the word, because OK Storytime is going to be on the mouth of every person in the streets.
Buy them.
OKStorytime.show. Link in description.
Do it.
Can I just say, your marriage sounds great.
Yep.
The way you wanted the baby's last name to be his choice and he chose yours.
Doesn't get better.
There's so much love and respect here, and I like how he stands by your side in his mother's nonsense. You're both awesome. Not the a-hole. And OP says, I just assume our son would have his. He brought it up. He said it was fair since I was doing all the work. He said if he pushed a human out of him, he'd want to put his name on it, which makes me laugh. I still let it be his choice because regardless of his name, I'm going to love this kid. If we have a second, I may insist they get his last name. Seems fair.
Adorable.
I am a very lucky woman, but it should be noted he wears his gross shoes through the house, so not perfect. But he says I sleep like an MMA fighter, so I suppose we're even. Is she just kicking him?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think?
That.
Oh.
I was thinking like snoring. And like,
That's what I thought, but then I was like, that doesn't make sense for an MMA fighter, but
yeah. My girlfriend will randomly, she doesn't do this anymore, but she used to like ask me questions in her like basically like sleep talking.
Yeah.
Instead of sleepwalking, she'd be like,
sleep interview.
We need to reset the printer right now. I'm like, we don't have a printer. And then I'd be like really like getting all worked up. And then I'm like, she's asleep. She literally
don't have a printer. Oh.
We were yesterday night we were watching Bridgerton,
Yeah.
and she had her head in my lap and I was talking to her. She literally fell asleep as she was responding to me. This is probably more information than I should be divulging, but
that's funny.
I thought it was adorable and silly.
Oh, that's cute.
Anyways.
OP responds to a comment that answers many points. I don't know if this is OP or the commenter, but we'll see. I don't see a reason why you were angry when she told you about your father's reaction. Seems a pretty valid point. The importance that the last name has for your father and her. This observation doesn't excuse her actions, but still a good point. I mean, for what you've said, seems like your dad would have done any nasty comments, but him crying shows how important it is for some people. Okay, that's a commenter. It's kind of weirdly worded, but
I get what they're saying. It's basically like the mom was trying to flip it because when the dad heard that they were going to name the baby after their last name, he cried because it was, I think, was it the brothers that passed away?
OP's brothers both passed away, so there wouldn't have been anyone to like carry the name through.
And that was like meaningful to him, of course. But to have the mother-in-law try and flip that around for her bastardized, like, no one in their family passed away or anything like that. I think it was because of the grief and everything that the father was crying at. That's just so slimy.
Yeah.
To flip it back around them.
Very icky. Very icky.
Hate that.
And then OP responds to that. Mother-in-law divorced the man whose last name she took. It wasn't even her original name. And she has another son who is going to have kids. My husband wasn't her only option, and my father lost 2 sons. My dad's reaction comes from a very emotional place. And frankly, he knew he wasn't entitled to it. He simply appreciates it. Even father-in-law didn't care. And again, this decision was made by my husband with my full support. Why isn't she mad at him?
Father-in-law also W.
Yeah. W's. But there is an update. But the verdict was not the a-hole, which I agree with.
I wholeheartedly agree as well.
Agree. OP,
all of my heart agrees.
All of my heart says, not the a-hole. It's written in my blood vessels.
Yeah. That's kind of graphic.
Yeah.
It's, you know what it is? It's the grape surgery robot.
Oh.
The robot that does it. What happened to the grape surgery robot,
Who's
dude?
to say?
Totally fell off.
I don't know. Maybe it's doing real surgeries now.
You know, hopefully.
Yeah,
honestly.
maybe that was just training.
Yeah, stop cutting up grapes.
Stop
my God.
cutting up
There's
grapes.
real people.
Yeah.
Forget these grapes. Why are you helping
Maybe
grapes?
it was like the beginning part of the Neuralink thing, because
Oh.
they're teaching the robots how to do that, and so maybe they started on grapes.
I think we need to
all conjecture.
Let's throw the grapes in the trash and let's start helping real humans. That's what I say.
Yes, John. Here, John.
But back to off of this
story.
Complete tangent. What do we have? What do we have next,
Let's
Sophia?
get to this update.
Let's do it.
Jake and I appreciate all the support, though Jake wants the DMers to know that he's okay with me taking his balls because he loses everything anyway.
Oh dear.
What? This brought him a good chuckle before the serious talk. We both also want to be very clear that taking his name was never on the table, nor does he care. I also do want to say I know how great Jake is, though since the post he's been demanding I thank the world's best husband anytime he does something for me. His humor is my favorite part of him.
They literally just keep getting cuter.
They're so cute.
They keep getting more adorable.
Stop! Because it's his mom, I let him decide how to handle it. We both did agree that our son would obviously know mother-in-law as his grandma, but he wouldn't have a relationship with her unless she addressed the blatant favoritism. That conversation did not go well. She denied having favorites, lied about pretty much everything, then told me the compromise she was willing to make was that if she had to accept me for who I am, being that I kept that name, I'd have to accept her for who she is. I don't understand the logic there.
That makes no sense.
She's like, if I have to accept that you have a different last name, then you have to accept me being horrible.
One of these things is not like the other.
I didn't respond before Jake ripped into her about how she didn't get to make demands, that she was critical of me, assumed things that he already told her weren't true, that this conversation was happening because we didn't accept who she was. And he said if he ever heard her make another comment about the Miller last name, he'd take it.
Ooh.
He'd take what?
He'd take the last name.
Oh my God.
That he would change his name.
What
so it's
a
like,
threat.
Dude, that.
What a threat. Killer threat.
Fire threat.
Oh.
Oof.
She started crying about losing her family and he hung up. One sister-in-law, who is mother-in-law's favorite child, sent me a nasty message, including the line, I wonder if your dead brother would be happy you used him to break mother-in-law's heart.
Are you kidding me?
How did Jake become such a lovely person when he comes from this family of horrible
His whole family
people?
line is poisoned.
Poisoned
with
Yikes.
awfulness.
Awful. Like, who says that? Who says that? Even the mother-in-law didn't bring, I mean, the closest she got to bringing it up was, oh, well, you gave your child the dad's last name. But that's the closest she got to bringing up her family.
There's like very disrespectful and very rude. And then there's like
evil.
saying something inexcusable.
Truly,
evil.
yeah.
Yes.
No, this is just like
that is evil.
Completely inexcusable. How could you think that this is okay to stoop to that low? Wow. Disgusting. But OP has a little clap back.
Ooh. All right, let's take a pause in the story. I got to talk about something.
Talk about it.
I've been called out.
By who?
By one Miss Jaybird on YouTube. And do you know what they said about me?
Tell me what they said.
They said, and I quote, John needs to use ZocDoc for his yawning. Do we not do long streams, Sophia?
John's been known to have the occasional yawn. Is that a crime?
I'm actually not tired. Look how I feel so energetic.
Yeah.
I think my brain just needs more oxygen to be able to converse and speculate and ideate in these conversations that we have on the show.
I agree.
You know, but I do think I need to take Miss Jaybird up. You know what we need to do, Sophia?
Give me.
We need to use ZocDoc.
Use it or lose your life.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and choose the right one for your needs and click instantly to book an appointment.
We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much more.
You can filter your doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need that you might have, and who are highly rated by verified patients.
You can also see their actual appointment openings, choose a time that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit.
Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, lickety-split, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score some same-day appointments. It's pretty great, right?
It's pretty amazing.
Listen, Sophia, I use ZocDoc, we use ZocDoc. You should freaking use it too, guys. Use ZocDoc.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/OKOP to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/OKOP, ZocDoc.com/OKOP. Let's get back into the show.
I sent the screenshots to mother-in-law and said, call off your dog or I'll take her to the pound.
Pork, pork.
Bop.
Pork, pork.
Bop.
That's right.
Don't mess with the Millers.
Don't do it.
Because they bite.
Or we'll release the hounds.
Yeah. I have sent a screenshot of that to anyone who has tried to question me. Wait, has she sent a screenshot of what the sister-in-law said or the screenshot that she sent to the mother-in-law with that comment?
I think the screenshot to the mother-in-law, like,
I hope it's that double screenshot that she's sending.
That's perfect.
Because you get what they've said and then you also get OP.
We need the clarification.
Back. Yeah.
We need it.
Bop, bop. Oh, if they tried to defend mother-in-law or sister-in-law, I blocked them. Word got around quickly about this, and now sister-in-law is all but cut out of father-in-law's side of the family.
Oof.
Even father-in-law had come down on her hard. Sister-in-law is desperately trying to apologize and fix this. She even allowed Jake to read everything mother-in-law sent to her about my last name. I tried to read some of it, but stopped. I don't want to be angry. I'm taking time to decide how to handle this.
Wait, so let me get this straight. So the sister-in-law was like evil and said the thing about the dead brother, right? And then she's like, oh, but look at what mom said. Like mom was saying terrible things too.
Yeah, mom did it worse.
That's like, you're not taking responsibility. You're just trying to schlep it onto someone else.
You're just trying to freaking scapegoat and it's not going to work.
Oh,
because everyone recognizes you for the dog.
I hate it.
Yeah, no, this family sucks.
Oh.
I hope they run away and he changes his name to escape.
Me too. Me freaking too.
Yeah. I am happy to be done with mother-in-law. She never really bothered me. It does take a lot to get to me. She never really bothered you after all of that.
I would be bothered.
Wow. Impressive. It does take a lot to get to me, but I don't want her behavior and attitudes to be normalized with my son. I wasn't prepared for motherhood to have such a strong effect. Jake did admit he gave my son my last name for my dad. Okay, because before they said it wasn't intentional, and now he's saying that he did it for the dad.
My dad actually did the same thing.
That's so sweet.
Kind of. He named me completely after my mom's dad because he passed away just before they got pregnant.
That's lovely.
Pretty adorable, right?
That's really, really cute.
Yeah.
Wait, so your grandpa's name?
I have my maternal grandfather's full name, and they just slapped Fry on the end of it.
That's why you have two middle names?
That's why I have two middle names.
And your two middle names are?
John Randolph Parkhill Fry. So my maternal grandfather was John Randolph Parkhill. That was his full name, and they just slapped a Fry on it.
Aw, okay. Word.
Sweet.
I love that.
Word. A word. Years ago, my dad asked if Jake was gonna propose to me. Jake said if my dad wanted to know, he would give him a heads up, but he wouldn't ask for his blessing or permission. In many more words, Dad said he had never had any expectations of that. He didn't worry about gender roles, though he was glad he would gain a son again. Jake didn't feel obligated. He just wanted to do that for my dad. Sincerely, thank you all. Edit. Hey, everyone. I didn't expect to wake up to this amount of messages. Mother-in-law took father-in-law's name. They're divorced. They have 2 daughters and 2 sons. Brother-in-law intends to have children and will pass on the Smith name. Sister-in-law has a daughter who has sister-in-law's husband's name. Sister-in-law also took his name. The youngest sister-in-law is the one who sent the text. So we're just getting clarification.
We need our whiteboard is on the way, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to get a whiteboard soon.
I'm not going to apologize for how I spoke to mother-in-law after she encouraged her daughter to use my brother like that. There's text proof that mother-in-law did this. So they were in on it. They were both in on it.
The mother-in-law
and sister-in-law.
They were both
She egged her on.
Not surprised at all, in the slightest.
Sister-in-law showed Jake. I have no intentions on seeking therapy or a relationship with either of them, and that's the most that can be asked of me in this upset of a state.
Good.
When we have a second child, I always intended for them to get Jake's last name. Jake knows and is cool with it. Jake is willing to be called by my last name, but I doubt he'll actually change it. Neither of us are willing to do paperwork out of spite either. Yes, I still cry remembering my dad cry about this. I always assumed Jake did this for this reason. He really is a great man. And there are some comments to finish the story off. S. Bargo says, you've got yourself a great husband. Not a lot of people could stand their ground like he did. Good luck to both of you and your little son. Opie says, he's always been able to stand up for himself. I won't say it didn't get to him, especially what his sister did, but he just runs it out. He may also make himself a world's best husband t-shirt if he sees more compliments, but he does deserve it. And Rafster says, would he consider changing his name to Miller, or would that just pour more gas on the fire? And OP says, yes, he would, but he tries not to let anger make his decisions. I also don't think he would because of the paperwork required, and he does everything he can to avoid it, including bribe me to do it. And Fan Pal says that line, call your dog off or I'll take her to the pound. So bloody good. And OP says, I didn't mean it violently either. Just keep your yapping dog in your yard or I'll make it someone else's problem. Sister-in-law is still yapping, just more whiny now. I don't think she realized her family would draw a line in the sand. The majority aren't necessarily taking our side, but it's clear they're staying out of it because defending her isn't really an option. And that is where that story ends, and it seems pretty positive.
Yeah, I think all's what ends well.
So true.
Jake is literally W husband, father-in-law is W father-in-law. We love to see it. What was the question for this episode?
The question for this episode is, when is it worth it to stand up for yourself? And I think it was worth it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine a scenario not. I guess there's a few scenarios where it's like maybe someone you don't interact with much and it's like maybe it's not even worth it, but like I feel like almost every scenario. Can't think of one.
Well, I think maybe in this scenario it could have gone, or she could have been thinking, oh well, it's his family, I don't want to rock the boat. Right. But I think it worked out very well for everybody, or for them at least, to get these this horrible family off her back.
The mother-in-law, sister-in-law sucked. I hate them more than grapes.
You hate grapes?
I do.
Why?
Because the robots are only performing surgery on them. They're getting all the surgery.
It's prejudice.
We talked about it.
Yeah. Right. I see.
I hate the grapes.
I thought you just like hate grapes as like a fruit.
Oh, I love eating them, which is
you just hate surgery.
Destroying them.
Yeah.
I just hate that they're getting all of the surgery that we should get.
Yeah.
Come on.
You love
free healthcare.
Yeah.
Let's freaking go. Anyways, seems like a wrap on that.
Seems like a wrap on that story.
But Sophia, that's not a wrap on the episode.
What are you talking about?
How dare you try to end this episode?
This is over. This episode's over.
Are you kidding me?
If you love us.
No. We love you, but don't use that.
You want me to end it?
No.
Sophia, you want me to end it?
No.
Just kidding. Because we have
another story.
Oh.
Am I the a-hole for struggling to forgive my husband for getting petty revenge? Don't forgive him.
Don't forgive him.
Be petty.
Be pettier.
And this is the answer to the question, when is it worth it to stand up for yourself? The story comes from Throwaway Address Size, who says, husband, 34 male, and I, 32 female, have been married for 6 years. 2 months ago, I stopped him from going on a bachelor's trip with his long-term school friends. I was okay and was kind of looking forward to him having fun until I learned the fact that he would be doing a lot of adult-themed activities. Think and happy ending massages.
No.
She doesn't want him to have a happy ending, Sophia. Why not?
You know what? I didn't know what that was for the longest time, and I learned about it from Schitt's Creek.
Sophia, you are too innocent. You are but a wee babe that just sees all of the goodness. You're like, happy ending. Happy endings are great. I love fairy tales and stories.
I remember watching the Schitt's Creek scene where they're like, do you know the scene that I refer to?
No.
So the two characters are getting married, and one of them buys him like a massage.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he's like, I never had a happy ending before. Thank you so much. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? I didn't pay for that. And I was like, what?
What's
this
the
sounds
big
like
deal?
Yeah, what's the big deal?
It had a
Sounds
happy
like he had a
ending.
good massage.
They got all the knots out. That was the happy ending.
Right?
Story resolved.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet innocent Sophia. Well, they had all of that as part of their itinerary. Happy ending massages included.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It sadly happens many times. We've talked about it before. It's like, why is that normal for?
I don't understand. I don't understand why it's normal, and also why you wouldn't tell your ask your partner.
That's the thing.
Why you would even want to do it?
Why would you want to do that? Well, Sophia, it caused a huge fight.
I wonder why.
As we've always maintained that this is a deal breaker for me, and the fact that he hid it from me made it worse. He argued that he only did it because of my tendency to overreact.
I'm gonna punch this man.
Babe, you're always overreacting, babe. Just chill. And of course, he wouldn't engage in those activities, but that didn't mean he couldn't go.
I don't know.
He wouldn't engage in those activities, but so he's basically saying like, I'm not gonna do the activities.
I'm not gonna participate, but I want to.
But I want to go
my
with
boys,
the friends.
But the thing is that, what else are you gonna be doing if that's the whole weekend? You're just gonna be sitting back in your hotel room.
Click.
It seems like this whole friend group that's their vibe.
Very naughty.
Very naughty vibes. And if you continue to, what's the word? Like, say you're okay with that, enable it.
Yeah.
Then it's going to keep happening.
If you have a real friend, you should be able to sit down and be like, look,
I'm not comfortable with
whatever
this.
you want to do, but like, this is what me and my wife have. This is our relationship. Like, here's a quick question real quick before we get back into it. Can he ask him to not do that on this trip?
What do you mean?
So put yourself in OP's husband's shoes.
Yes.
So it's like, all right, all my friends are doing this bachelor trip. I want to obviously, celebrate with my friend before he gets married, But they're like, hey, we're doing these happy ending massages and getting all these. You sit down and you're like, hey, I can't do that. Can you ask him to not do it on his own bachelor trip? Is what I'm asking.
I think you could say, hey, I am not comfortable. My wife and I aren't comfortable with the activities that you guys are going to do.
Yeah.
I would still like to be there. Is there any way we could, do something like have a day at least? If you still want to do that, okay. But if we could have a day or something where we can
do an activity that is not around that.
A different activity that is a little bit more appropriate.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, look, you do what you want, but like, I'm not going to be participating in this. And
if you want me there, these are the terms.
But also, if you had a conversation like that, it's maybe not implicit, but that kind of assumes that you would have told your partner about that. He OP's husband hid it from her.
No, he's making all of the incorrect decisions. Hid it from her, then told her that she was overreacting.
No, that she always overreacts.
He sucks.
Oh, baby.
This man is not a Jake. I can tell you.
Oh, this is not a Jake.
I tell you that for free. This is a mother-in-law.
Yeah, zero free 99. This guy is Jake.
He's no Jake.
Oh my goodness.
Pamela Rojas says, wouldn't marry any of those guys. Ew.
Very true. Yeah, everyone on this bachelor trip is disgusting.
Unmarryable.
Unmarryable.
Man, oh man. No, I don't know. I think it's right now, based off what we know about this guy, I do not trust him saying, oh, I'm not going to participate in it.
Because that's the thing. Like, he probably was like, let me not tell her. So he could participate in it.
Yeah.
And it would have been a secret the whole time.
Yeah, but now she knows.
Now she knows, and he's just trying to be like, oh, I wasn't going to participate. But, you just always overreact, babe. don't overreact.
Yeah.
You know that boundary that you said I could never cross. I just don't worry about it.
I'm just gonna put my toe over the line. Don't worry. Just one little toe.
Okay, just a little toe. Well,
Free contact.
You don't like that.
It's okay. It's socked up. It's fine.
Socked up.
Socked up.
I'm covered.
Are
Sarah,
you covered?
What? I'm not gonna show my feet, but I'm wearing socks. Don't. Ew. They're so dirty. They're covered in dust.
Because I ran.
Disgusting. Why did you show them on camera?
Because it was an instinct.
Editor, please edit that out.
Editor,
Please.
keep it in. Keep
For
it
my
in.
sake.
So people can screenshot it.
Sarah Shock says maybe the friend's fiance is okay with it though, so it wouldn't be cheating. There's a chance where the fiance and his wife have
They
their
might
own
have
thing.
their own thing going on.
But regardless of that, this is about OP
Yes.
and
This is about
her
their
husband.
relationship.
Yeah, this is their relationship, which is separate.
As someone said, would Jake have done it? And then someone was like, yeah, that adds a whole new meaning to WWJD.
I was about to say, oh my god.
What would Jake do?
What would Jake do?
Shout out to
put it
Pamela
on
Ross.
put it on a bracelet.
They got
Do
lots
it.
of bracelets of that already out, so you
I
can just
know.
go
That's
get one of
true.
those.
You could just get it right now. And then everyone was like, oh my god, that's what would Jesus? No,
Jake,
Jake,
my boy Jake.
my boy Jake.
Okay, step aside, Jesus. There's a new J name
You're
in town.
getting married. You're like, what would Jake do? Taking your name.
But there's more to the story. So, I would have been fine with him going
Okay.
if he told me about the itinerary, and I would have trusted the fact that he would keep away. So if he came forth with it,
Yeah.
and was honest,
yeah.
she would have believed that he would have stayed away because he was honest about what was
Yeah,
going to
if
happen.
he had come to her and said, hey, this is what's happening. I'm not going to be participating, but I want to go to support my friend. Totally different than him going, not telling her, and then saying you're overreacting.
I would have been
No words.
no words.
Just sounds.
What he did broke my trust, and the only way I could see him earning it back is if he voluntarily told his friends that he couldn't come,
Ooh.
which he did.
Whoa. Okay. I still don't trust him. He's going to sneak away.
At the time, he looked really apologetic. And we made up. He took me to go shopping, and all was good. I bought some fashionable outfits and was looking to wear them ahead of the summer. Where we live, it's still a little cold, and I didn't get to immediately dress up in the clothes that I bought. Also, most of my summer clothes had shrunk in the washer, so I practically only had oversized casuals and these clothes that I had just bought.
How are you washing your clothes?
1,000 degree water.
Be more careful.
1,000? No, 1,000 degrees or nothing. A few weeks later, it started to get warmer, and as I slip into my new dress, it feels tight. I'm confused. I just tried them on in the store, and I'm a size 14, as the label on the dress said. So,
Wait.
I didn't get the wrong size in the store.
Did the husband shrink those dresses too?
I see used in the
My
comments.
first thought was cheating, but then my second thought was she would recognize the dresses. So did he shrink them?
I'm very confused. She's like, I recognize these dresses.
Yeah.
It's the same size. That is my right size. Yet it's small, but I haven't worn or washed it yet.
I'm confused.
I think I see an ICU. Guys,
Okay.
I see you.
I
Comment
don't
below.
see a U.
I think I see the U. I think I see the U. Actually, let me text it to Riley because I don't want it to spoil it with everyone.
yeah.
But I want to have.
You
'cause
wanna have the
Then
proof
I could
that
just
you
be like,
got it.
oh, I was right. No.
Yeah, no.
No. We're gonna get
They
confirmed.
do this on my D&D podcast where sometimes there's like a hit point that they're trying to reach.
Yeah.
And the DM, Brennan Lee Mulligan, he'll write down the amount just so everyone knows that, tell them
That
the
is
truth.
true. Riley, did you get my message? Do you see it?
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? See,
Let's
Sophia.
find out if I don't see it.
Sophia doesn't even know.
I don't even know.
She's just completely
Wow.
clueless.
Yeah.
This is good.
Has not a
This is
clue
really
in the
good.
world.
Not a single clue.
So, then another dress was tight. Same with the pants and other tops. I see it.
I don't see it.
I start feeling absolutely crazy. Had I just put on so much weight in a matter of a few weeks that my new dresses didn't even fit? I've always been a bit sensitive about my body looks, and I remember telling my husband how excited I was about these new clothes that looked so flattering on me. And now they look so hideous on me. I started crying on the floor.
Ooh, I think I might see a you.
I was too embarrassed to tell my husband this. I thought he must have noticed if I'd put on weight. I was a wreck. I was feeling crazy for a few weeks now. Even the clothes that I had on before felt tighter. I didn't know if it was placebo or reality, but it didn't help. My husband a few days ago during dinner said he wanted to confess something. I think the you we've seen is about to be revealed. He was snickering while saying this, and what he said absolutely crushed me. He said this while I was gone to see my sister, who had just had a baby, for a week. He had secretly taken all of my outfits that he knows I routinely wear and gave them to a local tailor to make them a size or two smaller.
I did not see the you.
To be fair, I also didn't see the
You didn't see the you?
Mine was, I'll read the text verbatim.
Yeah.
He gave the clothes for another girl to wear, a cheater. So basically, like, he was cheating with a girl, and to be like, because he's like, I thought he was like actually so evil. He started taking all of OP's clothes, giving it to his affair partner to wear, and then washing them, not realizing it would shrink it too small. But
that's a very in-depth plan.
I had the IC. I was like, if this is right, it's going to be an all time.
You would have been really specific, yeah.
It would have been all time. But
damn, I did not. I thought pregnant, maybe.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I did not see this you.
Well, we didn't see it, but I digress. We know it now. So let's keep going. He said he paid him generously to stitch things faster and said sorry, but it felt like a funny payback for what I had done, stopping him from going on the.
Oh my God, he sucks.
Buddy, old pal, except you're not my pal. This is really bad.
Riley, we're up more.
Hey, I just wanted to get you back after I betrayed your trust.
Wow. Yeah, he's like, I know I did something wrong, but actually you deserve to be punished for it.
Yeah, you punished me for doing something actually wrong, so I'm just gonna punish you because I.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to wreck your self-confidence and make you think that you're crazy.
Yeah. Gonna be great.
It's gonna be fine.
Babe, it was a little prank. Like,
and to do that, I'm going to go to the tailor and have them restitch all of your clothes.
Like, kind of
psychotic?
Psychopathic, yeah.
Psychotic?
I said that wasn't funny. He made me feel crazy. I was crying and screaming at that point. He severed my sense of self and made me feel ugly. Eventually, I tried to be okay, but I'm not.
I would not. I would break up with him on the spot.
No, this is crazy.
You're done.
I'm still reeling from what he did as a petty revenge. It's been some time since he confessed and offered to get them stitched back to their original size.
What do you mean offered? He offered to get them stitched? If any, like, one, I would have dumped him for the first thing, and then I would have dumped him here again. But the fact that he wasn't immediately going to get them fixed after this prank was revealed, and he was like, oh, well, do you want me to get them restitched? Obviously, she wants you to get them restitched. Those are her clothes.
But babe, I don't know if you... Maybe, babe, I don't know if you want to have them as your goal clothes, you know, slim down. He just keeps digging his grave deeper and deeper. He's like, God. Babe, actually, like, what if we reframed this as a win for both of us?
He's like, I understand that you're mad, but I think that you're overreacting.
Yeah, back to overreact. Let's go back to the overreactions, babe. This is Exhibit A, babe. I told you.
I just restitched all of your clothes, but it was for you.
I'm trying to help.
I'm trying to help,
and you're punishing me.
Again.
Not to sound crazy, there was also a happy ending somewhere involved in the story too, right?
That didn't actually happen.
It didn't actually happen.
So the bachelor trip was going to have happy endings. I don't know why they specified that it was going to have happy endings, but it's going to have happy endings and numbers. And so OP was like, I'm not comfortable with that. And so he didn't go, and now he's punishing her for not letting him go.
But he was
on board.
Huh?
I'm on board.
Yeah. And he was going to go and not tell her, even though that's a specific boundary that she's like laid out for them in their relationship.
Yeah.
OP says, I'm struggling with what he just did. I want to forgive him. OP wants to forgive him.
Don't.
Bring him back in. That's what OP wants to do. I never knew how resentful he was of me about that trip. Maybe it's my fault.
No.
No.
Wrong.
I should have been more trusting.
No.
I knew he would never cheat.
What?
In my heart, I knew he would keep away. And from his POV, his petty revenge on me probably feels deserved.
Wrong.
This is
Stop.
bad. This is bad. I would be mad too if he stopped me from doing something I was looking forward to. But still, if you were me, how would you feel? Has anyone had their spouse do petty revenge on them? That took a turn.
Is that the end of the story?
It is over.
That is, I need comments. I need comments.
There's no relevant comments. There's no updates. There's nothing. There's no edits. There's nothing.
I need someone to tell this girl that she's like, she needs to get out of this relationship right now.
As Pamela Rojas says, run!
Run! Run and don't look back.
Yeah.
Take your tailored clothes, which someone said, which was a great point. Someone said to make them smaller, they would have to cut fabric off. So it's not like he can restitch these clothes anyway. He has to buy her a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah. This is.
Where did he even find this tailor?
It's like not only the fact that he thought of this like so weirdly specifically horrible thing,
yeah,
but the fact that he went through with it, he like paid him extra to do it quickly so he could like. OP, don't go back to this, man.
Don't.
No.
Stop.
He's
horrible.
He showed you in multiple instances his true colors.
No, he showed you after the first time.
Yeah.
After the first time of not telling you what he was going to be doing at this bachelor party.
And he wasn't, the big thing for me was he wasn't like, you know what? You were totally right.
Yeah.
I broke the trust. This is something you've specifically laid out as a boundary. No. I didn't respect that. I messed up and I'm going to, do you want me to not go on this trip? Like what would be meaningful to you to show that I'm like making a change in the positive direction? He said, I didn't want to tell you you'd overreact.
And he then made her think that he was apologetic when he didn't go, like when he chose not to go on the trip. Yes,
he was lying.
Yeah.
And then he pulled this weirdly sinister prank. He knew
so sinister.
He knew how much this would hurt her. That's the thing. It wasn't like I can't even think of another example.
It wasn't like a freaking whoopee cushion under the chair.
Yeah.
This was psychological torture.
He
made her think that she was crazy.
100%.
And then made her doubt her self-confidence. And then made her feel like she was going to be unlovable. She said she was embarrassed to tell her husband about it. And now her self-confidence is like, we see that it is impacted because she's saying, oh, well, maybe I deserved this treatment.
There's a certain chant that I'd like to chime in unison. Are you ready, Sophia?
I'm ready.
Divorce, divorce, divorce. That's it.
Now.
That's literally all we can say here. And to
maybe all she wrote.
Very quickly answer this question. Yeah. When is it worth it to stand up for yourself? My God. Please.
She hasn't stood up for herself yet. And I need her to.
That's right.
I mean, she did after with the bachelor party, but I need her to do it now because she doesn't deserve this treatment.
You deserve to be far away from this man.
Far. You deserve a Jake.
You deserve a Jake.
Not a Spencer.
Reach. Ladies and gentlemen, I might have to dip out for this next story.
Where are you going?
To talk with the one and only Samuel Donner.
Well, we got a call in.
We got a call in?
Yeah, it was about happy endings.
Oh man.
I got you though. Here, Sophia, talk.
Yes, maybe Sophia, if you could read this next story, and then at the end of that,
we could do the call-in.
We could do the call-in.
Okay.
But let's get into this next story. Am I the a-hole for telling the bride I don't want to wear the bridesmaid's dress chosen for me? And again, this is to answer the question, when is it worth it to stand up for yourself? And Adventurous Lemon 197 says, I, 40 female, was invited to be a bridesmaid for my good friend, who I'll call Beth, 32 female. We've been friends for almost 8 years after we met at a support group. Whoa. So she was 24 and you were 32? Wow. I happily agreed to be Beth's bridesmaid and assumed I'd be one of many. However, Beth told me her friend just had a baby and her other friend will be having gallbladder surgery at that time, so it will only be me, her 3 younger sisters, and her sister-in-law. I was okay with this at first until I actually saw them. They look very, very young. They're all between 19 to 28. They're extremely slim. I look much older than all of them. That made me feel pretty uncomfortable. I don't know if this is right, unless OP's friend does something to make her feel uncomfortable or make her feel like if she picks a dress that makes her feel uncomfortable, that's a different story. But I think right now, I think you kind of have to push through just right now. Because if it's just a matter of, oh, some people are younger with me, people are friends with younger people all the time.
Oh, yeah. I'm young and I'm friends with John.
Yeah. No, I think right now I'm not seeing the issue, but maybe it'll arise later. Missed the old joke. On top of that, she allowed her sisters to choose the dress because I was not able to go with them to the appointment as it was too early for me. The girls chose the sexy, silky satin dress that looks very, very tight on their bodies, which on them looks fantastic as they are young with younger bodies, but on me, it will look terrible. I just know it will. Okay. I was very nice and told my friend that I'd like to choose a dress that would be more flattering to my body type, as I'm older and bigger than her sisters. It'd be the same color and fabric, just something I want. I think that's a more fair request to ask. Just saying, hey, if I could choose a dress that fits my body type.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think that's more fair. As long as it's the same color, I think it's okay. My friend was annoyed and said her sisters chose the dress themselves and had already purchased it. It's done. We went back and forth for several hours. I was trying to make her understand my point. I will be the oldest one there. Everyone's going to be looking at me and comparing me to her younger, slimmer sisters. I don't want that kind of attention. I don't know. It seems like she has a lot of insecurities. And I think it's totally fair for her to say, I'm not comfortable wearing that dress. But I think she's kind of leaning into those insecurities before. Yeah, Katie Lynn says she hasn't tried on the dress. It seems like she has like anxiety and she's thinking about what other people will think of her when she's wearing it, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I definitely see some insecurities here.
Yeah. I think, but Pamela Rojas says same color dress is the best option. I think not everyone has the same body type, which I agree. I think she should definitely have a right to choose the dress that fits her body type. But I think it's also a little bit, Elizabeth Miller says she seems a little self-conscious. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like she's making they're younger, I'm older, a bigger problem than it has to be.
Yeah.
Creature Blaze says, understand OP, but the way she's saying certain stuff is rubbing me the wrong way. No, I agree. That's why I'm a little bit confused. Because on the one hand, again, I think she has a right to want to wear a dress that makes her comfortable. But she's also thinking up the worst scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And none of it's happened yet. Yeah, that's where I'm at, I think. My friend was irritated and said that her fiance is also in his 40s and his 5 groomsmen are between 40 to 50 years of age. On top of that, her sister-in-law is actually 48. She just looks good for her age.
Wow.
That made me feel even worse. Oh no. She goes, everyone is different ages and sizes, and I need to let it go. I thought we were making some headway, and she was going to let me choose a different dress until she left a nasty voicemail early this morning. She told me to get the dress, or I can't be part of it anymore. I'm adding too much stress to her wedding over stupid insecurities, and that her family isn't there to see me or to see what I'm wearing or how I fit into a dress. They are there for her and her husband. So either I show up as a bridesmaid in the dress or I show up as a guest. And if I don't get with the program, she'll have her cousin take my place. I feel like she could have said it nicer than she did. She was very nasty towards me. I also feel like she's not being sensitive. I decided to remove myself as a bridesmaid since she won't be flexible, but my husband said it was very rude. Am I the a-hole? And there is an edit before we get into it. But yeah, I do want to know what y'all are saying. Jezebel says she couldn't even be bothered to show up to pick the dress though. That's on her. And Rebecca Perala says she had an opportunity to go shopping and have an opinion, but it was too early. Yeah. And then Valley Lily says, here's the argument that will win. Fair, I'm wearing the dress, but don't get mad when everyone talks about how silly the chubby bridesmaid looked in that too small dress. Okay, well that's also, I mean, we don't want her to talk bad about herself. I think she should maybe try on the dress first. And if she still feels uncomfortable in it, I don't think that she should be forced to wear a dress that she's uncomfortable in. I think that's my thing.
Yeah. Don't be on the fence. Don't be nice. Pick one side, a-hole or not. You can be an a-hole. It's fine. Pick a side.
Are we saying OP is the a-hole?
Well, Katie Lynn just said kind of yes.
I think
if you say kind of yes, then it's yes. I just want to see a-hole or not.
I think she is kind of being the a-hole.
Yes or no?
No, I think she's kind of.
No, kinda.
I
yes
can't.
or no?
No.
Yeah, so no, she's not the a-hole.
No, I think she's kind of the a-hole.
You have to pick a-hole or not.
I'm picking kind of a-hole.
No, don't put kind of. You picked a-hole.
Okay. But I think that, I think it is a little bit more complicated. I don't think this is a clear-cut a-hole because she has a right to not feel comfortable in a dress. So that's why I don't think she's fully the a-hole. So you won't force me into this.
You picked a-hole.
I didn't. I said kind of a-hole. You literally can't force me into it.
You have to be on the fence about everything.
Life is shades of gray, man. Life is shades with gray. Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to pick a side of a fence.
No.
And the wire on it is too pokey for you to stand on.
I literally won't. I'm just saying. Kitty V says I'm saying you're the a-hole because she didn't even try the dress on. That I think.
He said you're the a-hole. Boom.
That's where I'm at, guys. This is where I'm at. I'm thinking she should try on the dress. And if she still feels uncomfortable, then she brings that up to the bride. And if the bride is like, too bad, then the bride's a little bit the a-hole. Josephine Medola Berqui says, don't want my memory of a friend's wedding being filled with anxiety and shame. Very fair. And I think that if she feels because it seems that even if she's I'm worried that if she's in a dress that she does feel comfortable in, she'll still have other worries about the younger bridesmaids and stuff. Because it seems as if the dress is not the only problem here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But I think if she's not comfortable, then she just shouldn't agree to be a bridesmaid. I think that is the best solution if the bride is not willing to make concessions for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think maybe I'm, you know what? I think I'm on everyone's a little bit the a-hole here. That is a thing that we can pick. Everyone is a little bit the a-hole here. That's what I'm saying. I'm putting that down. Yeah. But let's read this edit.
Everyone's saying a-hole. All right, let's get into it.
Edit. I am getting the same questions, so I will answer. Bride and I met in a support group for chronic pain sufferers. We both have fibromyalgia, and the bride has lupus, which is why the wedding is happening a little faster. Bride made the dress appointment for 11, and my flare-ups happen in the mornings pretty bad, which she's aware of. But she still chose to do it at the time because everyone else could only do that time. She is doing her wedding at night, which is the only reason I can be part of it. It wouldn't have been possible if it was during the day. Also, we talked about it late last night. She said if she wants to come with me to try on the dress, and if I absolutely can't do it, then I can either find a dress that has to look like it's twin, or I can come as a guest. She's okay with either. Okay. The problem with the dress is that it's satin, which means I know it's going to be tight because satin always fits tight. And the top part is a corset style. Even if I size up, the part will probably end up being too loose at the top due to my small chest. Okay, honestly, I think that they sorted it out.
Yeah.
I think this is a good ending. What did fibromyalgia?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I don't know how to pronounce it, so...
I thought it was funny and I wasn't going to say anything because you bully me all the time whenever I say something wrong, so I was going to give you the benefit of a doubt.
Oh, you're allowed. If you know how to pronounce it, you're allowed to tell me.
Well, I don't, so it would have been useless.
So it would have been a moot point. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. But...
You could call an expert about this, like, hey, here's the situation, what fabric would be better?
Yeah. Oh, they could call an expert?
Or we could. We have an expert on the line, I think.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Okay.
My girlfriend.
Oh, about fabric.
About fabric.
That's true.
We could see.
Fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone who told me how to pronounce that. I think that maybe try on the dress, but it seems as if both the bride and OP have a good solution of trying the dress, and then if not, we find a dress that's similar. But yeah, OP is more comfortable in it. I think that is a good answer. Tanja Sisney says she seems to stress about things before they actually happen. And J Rose says OP is making assumptions based on insecurities. She needs to at least try on the dress before deciding she needs a different one. I agree. Cherish High Vibe says, as an older plus size person, I get it. I guess try it on and see what they're working with. Maybe there are adjustments they can do. I think just trying it on is the first step, because that's the only way that she can kind of prove to the bride, hey, this doesn't work for me and I'm uncomfortable in it. But I think the bride seems like she's getting a little mad because OP hasn't tried it on. But it seems like the ending is, this ended well. They came to an agreement, they came back and they talked about it and they worked through the issue. So, you know what? Everyone sucked for a little bit, but now everyone's good. Everyone's chill.
Everyone's chilling.
What?
Jay chilling.
Jay chilling. Yeah.
Oh. I got her on the line. We're going to see what the best solution for this person could be fabric-wise. What do you think?
I don't know.
Hello? Can you hear me? You're on the show.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, actually. You guys hear her? Okay, so basically there was a plus, you can say plus.
Yeah.
All right, there was a plus-size woman getting invited to be a bridesmaid, and everyone wore very tight satin clothes, and she didn't want to wear them. What kind of like fabric do you think she could have wore, or like?
Gosh,
putting her on the spot.
So the thing with satin, the reason it like shows a lot of details on your body, I think it's just because it's so shiny.
Okay.
So if something wasn't as shiny, then that would probably help. But yeah, because obviously like the light reflects and it can show all the little divots and curves and everything that people might not want shown. But I mean, I feel like there could be some sort of like shapewear that could be worn to kind of smooth things out. But of course, that's pretty uncomfortable. So not a lot of people want that.
Boom. There you have it.
So I don't know.
So not shiny fabric.
Not shiny fabric.
Not shiny fabric. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, cool. Thank you for your time.
Excellent answer.
Of course.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Yeah, no, I think if we're looking about how we fixing the solution of what dress, not satin. I was also going to say, because a lot of people were saying shapewear, but I think because she does have fibromyalgia.
There we go.
I believe.
There we go.
Shapewear. I don't know the exact like how that works or what kind of symptoms go along with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that might be uncomfortable to wear if you have like physical pain. So I think that possibly looking for a different fabric would be the solution.
Would be the move. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about the
happy ending?
The happy ending one?
I suppose so.
Hello.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
All right. Can you tell us a little bit?
Yes. Tell us about the story.
Tell us about the story real quick.
So when I was 19 in 2012, oh my God, Trixie, go away. Sorry, my dog.
You're good.
When I was like 19 in 2012, I was in esthetician school, and I'm going to tell my dog to stop. Trixie?
The dog wants to be in the video.
Like, I want to be.
She really does. She's a wiener dog too.
Oh, adorable.
But basically, I went to esthetician school and we had like placements.
Okay.
And at the placements, I was like already working somewhere, so I was fine. But there was this like quite large woman, like plus size individual that I went to school with. And when I say plus size, I mean she was very, very short, so it was like amplified.
Oh.
and one of the issues that she had was like finding accommodations for her size. So this place had reached out and said they'll take someone on, and so she went to the parlor, which is like an esthetician school.
Yeah.
Or esthetician, you know what I mean, like a beauty, like a spa. So she went there, and she said on her first day she was just doing laundry in the back, but then like she saw this little bell at the front and someone hit the bell, and then all the women lined up, and like the person who paid for it would just pick one and they would go in a room, and like that was it. And so like a couple weeks went by and she was telling me this every day, like, I'm uncomfortable, and like, you gotta get out of this.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm like, you gotta get out of this. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna, I'm thinking about it, but they'll never want me anyway. Like, she thought it was like, she had like a confidence issue. I was always like, girl, you're better than you think.
Yeah.
But so one day she was there, and this was the quitting point. She basically went and was doing laundry, and she was at the front to go talk to her manager when someone dinged the bell, and the guy picked her.
No.
Yeah. And so she freaked out and threw the towel and was like, F this, and left. And I was like, when she told me the next day, I was like, girl, you, like, oh my God.
That's why.
Oh my God, you dodged a bullet. Like, you needed to leave earlier, but holy crap.
Did she like report them?
Yeah, we ended up reporting them to the school, and this is in Canada, by the way.
Okay. Because the fact that they didn't disclose that before.
Yeah, and what was crazy was like the school didn't know, and so like we had to go with like to talk to the dean and like all of that. But yeah, they got canceled.
Thank God.
From our school roster, so like they would never be allowed to take someone on again.
Oh my gosh, what is the rules about happy endings in Canada?
Well, there aren't very many rules for estheticians in Canada or anything happy ending, which is really stupid.
Yeah.
Basically, they have to give a health inspection notice over 3 weeks in advance, so the place, like the establishment, will just clean it up really, really fast right before the like date. So like it never get caught. And it's what that place was doing was they were having her clean as like an unpaid labor because it was a placement. And so she was doing all the cleaning and stuff before the inspector would come, and the girls would pretend that they were just regular estheticians. And it was very strange.
Were the other, I don't know if you said this, were the other girls sent from that school, or they were sent from some?
No, they were just workers. Like they applied to be there, and they were there to make bank with their tips.
Gotcha. Oh my God.
Shoo.
Glad she got out of there.
Yeah, glad she got out of there. Well,
yeah. I have a lot of other stories, but another time.
Yeah.
Another time. Yeah. Send them in. Go.
That was a great story.
Put them in the Reddit.
That's exactly what I would want out of a story about having.
It was a little scary, but it worked out in the sense that she got to run away, and yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meow Gold Cat, and for your time and calling in with us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, and yeah, maybe I'll submit more stuff. But thank you.
Please do.
Please do. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Great story.
Wow,
That's exactly what I wanted.
I love that.
I was really worried about the happy ending stories, and that was the perfect one.
Yeah, you can trust us.
You could trust
and me.
us.
You can trust us in chat. We
Riley
never
did a
do
good
like
job.
anything like that to you. Well, actually, maybe we would.
Or to you. So the question of today, and actually that story fit into our question
perfectly.
Of when do you stand up for yourself? You stand up for yourself when
you get picked.
They ask you to they pick you for happy endings.
Honestly, if I was her, this sounds so selfish, I would stay until they'd pick me to be like, would anyone want me to do that? And then I'd be like, all right, I'm done.
Wait, what?
Sometimes I apply to things just to see if I'd get accepted.
Like your confidence?
Yeah. Like I applied to early college just to see if I'd get accepted, and then it ended up going. Or like sometimes I'd apply to jobs just to see if I'd get like, a round or two in with my experience.
Interesting.
But I never do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, those are all of our stories, and we had many different scenarios of standing up for yourself, and some went better than others. But that's the whole episode.
Yep. You love us. Make sure to subscribe.
We love you and see you tomorrow. Unless you're in the stream.
Unless you're right here.
In which case we're gonna keep